Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor Simli, and in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you this sweep that I'm rocking right now. It's a 12-inch curly wig, and I'm going to teach you how I ventilated the closure and sew the back. So thank you so much to those who have subscribed to my channel, and if you haven't yet, please kindly subscribe and like and comment. I need to hear your thoughts, so let's get into the tutorial. I'm going to use these two bundles, and each bundle is divided into two sections, and each section is 2 meters. I'm ventilating one line on my Swiss lace before sewing it to the wig cap, so it will be a guide, and I will also know how wide I want my closure to look like. Right there I'm picking 2 strands of hair and skipping a wall, so I ventilated 60 walls and leave 60 walls, so it's going to be 120 when you're calculating. And I'm marking where I want my closure to be with an eyeliner, or you can use a fabric marker, but I'm using an eyeliner to mark this. And right there I'm sewing my Swiss lace on the wig cap. I'm sewing it on the part that I have already marked. And make sure you use thread instead of wool when you're sewing your Swiss lace, so that it will lay flat, because if you use wool it will be bumpy, and we don't want that. We want it to lay flat, so that's why I say you should use thread. After you're done sewing, tie your thread and cut it with the scissors. Right there I'm cutting off the excess lace that we don't need. I'm going to cut it off. When you are done cutting off the Swiss lace, flip the wig cap inside out and cut off the wig cap underneath the lace that we also don't need. You're going to cut it off. Flip your wig cap back and start ventilating the closure. And right there I've already ventilated one side of my closure, and I'm going to show you on the other side how I did it. This is how the one side looked like. I'm going to show you on the other side how I ventilated it. I'm going to skip one line before ventilating the other side, and I will use it later on as my parting. So right there I'm picking 2 strands of hair and skipping a wall. Make sure you don't pick more than 2 strands of hair at the front, because you want it to look as natural as possible. So pick 2 strands of hair when you're doing the front, 2 or 1, not more than that, because you want it to look natural. So after ventilating 5 lines at the front, I'm ventilating 12 lines going upwards up to where I want my parting to end. So I'm still picking 2 strands of hair and skipping a hole up to where I want my parting to end. I'm going to continue with this process. So after ventilating 5 lines at the front and 12 lines going upwards, this is how it looked like. And I'm going to ventilate the other side that I'm left with. I'm picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows, or just filling in where you see need some hair. And this process is actually faster than the first one. This is faster because I'm skipping two rows and picking 3 strands of hair. Continue picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows up until you reach the top, up until you finish all the space that we left when we were ventilating 12 lines and 5 lines at the front. You're going to do this process up until you finish your closure. I'm still picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows up until I finish. I'm still picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows. And this is how my closure looks like. At the back, this is how it looks like, and at the front it looks like this. See how natural it is. So right there, I'm sewing my tracks starting from the back up until I reach my closure. I'm going to join my tracks with my closure. When your track have reached your closure, you're going to flip it back and start sewing it going the other direction to also join your tracks with the other side of your closure. Flip your weft again and start sewing going the other direction. Flip it again and start sewing. So this is how it looks after I've sewed the back of my closure. And when you reach the top, you're going to sew your tracks, joining them with your closure. Every track you sew, you're going to join it with your closure. Do not cut your weft, flip it and sew going the other way, and use thread so that it will lay flat. It will lay flat. Sew your tracks joining them with your closure. Sew them together, joining them up until you reach the top. You're going to sew them, joining it to your closure. Make sure your last track you sew it joining it to your closure. Sew them together, connect them. When you are done sewing, tie your thread about 3 to 4 times and cut it, then tie it again, then cut the extra thread. This is how it looks like after sewing. It should be joined together with your closure. Don't leave space. And remember that parting we said we want to do later on, that one line we skipped. This is how it will be easy for you to open your parting when you're done with your closure. And I'm going to cut off the extra Swiss lace that we left. I'm going to cut it off. I'm using olive oil mousse to get rid of the flyaways, and also it will activate the curls and it will lay the hair flat. I'm tying a scarf to my hair so that when the mousse is dry, all the hair will be flat. Thank you so much for watching. That's probably all for today. See you in my next video, and remember, we're all beautiful in our own beautiful kind of way. Goodbye.